What's it? Hello, Brittany.
Jeff, are you going to be able to swear her in remotely?
Okay, yeah, I still cannot hear you.
I mean, back when I was a judge, we were allowed to swear people in if they. Yeah, it's a. I know for depositions it's different in some cases, but.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Put it this way, we did it when your dad did the remote hearing, the delivery case last year, because they would hear remotely. So.
I'm fine with it. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure. You guys all good to go here?
We are good.
Good.
However, we have a Teams case. It's going to be our first case. She is live. She can listen to us right now. I can't hear her, but she can hear everything. So before we start her case, we want to verify
That she can talk?
that she can talk. Correct.
Okay, that we can hear. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order then. If you could, just stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And I know we got this amended agenda, so are there any additional cases on the amended agenda that have been complied with?
No, I think the way it is, I believe it's good to go.
This agenda is good to go then, showing 7 cases.
Correct.
I did look through the minutes while I was sitting here, so I'll go ahead and approve those and approve the amended agenda. And then Mr. Burns, if you'd like to swear everyone in.
Okay, anyone who's going to be testifying here today, and then I'll do the individuals here remotely separately here in just a second. Everyone raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone's under oath. And if anyone else comes in the room, I'll put them under oath as well. And then, Bert, can you just pull up the video real quick? As long as
Go
she...
back to my screen, so she's on there.
Your Honor, maybe, do you want to, I was going to say, handle different cases?
Well, we can, oh, here we go.
Could you just maximize the screen real quick?
I think so. There we go.
And what's her name? Bert?
Brittany Johnson.
Miss Brittany Johnson, I see you nodding your head. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. And she said, I do affirmatively, Your Honor.
I
And
see that.
nod her head yes. And then if audio does come through, maybe we'll ask her again just to confirm that she did say I do. But
Right.
Go ahead. So.
And I guess we don't know what the technical issue is with the audio.
No, but I'm sure Jeffrey set it up and he's watching from the AV room. He should be trying to fix it right now so that we can hear her.
Do you want to, while we're waiting on that, do you want to go ahead and knock out some of the other cases? Or is IT going to be here to fix this?
It's up. I don't know. We can.
I just don't know how long it'll be till someone from
Exactly, yeah,
IT can come
until
in.
he gets it. And since you're not up yet, do you want to make sure Jeffrey's working on that? We'll let Rich take the next case.
Oh, here's somebody.
Oh, Jeffrey's here.
Right on cue.
Good job. She's muted. Miss Brittany, can you hear us?
Good morning.
Oh, great. You've unmuted. Perfect.
Great.
We're good to go.
Do you want me to just reconfirm?
Yeah, if you could confirm that.
And Brittany, this confirms that I did just place you under oath a second ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and so this is case 7.1, case CE 24871 MAN, and being presented by Mr. Rhodes. And after Mr. Rhodes present, I'll hear from you, Ms. Brittany, as well. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case number CE-24-871-MAN. This case pertains to subject address of 22 Wright Parkway Northwest. According to the tax records, the owner of said property is the Villager FWB Apartments LLC. 79 days ago, on December 30th, 2024, the property was found in violation of Maintenance General, Section 5.07.01, for failure to repair and maintain structures on the property. Building permit must be obtained, and the following items must be repaired in accordance with all applicable codes. The stairs, stairways, landings, elevated walkways, support structures, and associated railings for the entire complex, including 22 and 26 Wright Parkway, are showing signs of significant damage and deterioration. Said areas appear to be unsafe and must be maintained in a code-compliant manner. Also, nuisance, section 5.04.01, subsections A through G, and 5.04.02, subsections 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, 12, and 13, for failure to repair and maintain the following areas in a safe condition. And again, same thing I just read before: the stairways, landings, elevated walkways, support structures, and associated railings in the entire complex, including 22 and 26 Wright Parkway Northwest, are showing signs of significant damage and deterioration. Said areas appear to be unsafe and must be maintained in a code-compliant manner. On January 22nd, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of violation. On February 24th, 2025, a reinspection, the property found the violations had not been corrected. On March 3rd, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. And on March 3rd, 2025, Atlas Engineering and Consulting inspected the property. On March 12th, 2025, Atlas Engineering and Consulting provided a report recommending full replacement of the stair systems, including handrails, throughout the property. The report also said the amount of deterioration presented life safety concerns for the patrons utilizing the system. On December 30th, 2024, and January 16th, 2025, and again this morning, March 19th, 2025, photographs of the violations were taken. And on March 19th, 2025, the property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing and proof of service. Exhibit D is a notice of violation and proof of service. Exhibit E is a copy of the inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G are the photographs of the violations. Exhibit H is the registered agent per the Florida Division of Corporations, sunbiz.org. Also, Exhibit I is the engineering report by Atlas Engineering and Consulting. Staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 1, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends immediate action to install temporary shoring. Staff also recommends 30 days time for compliance of the violations. This would make the compliance deadline on April 18th, 2025. And one additional note is that we notified them we wanted immediate shoring installed Monday this week. They've already put some shoring in place. We don't have a permit or know whether it's sufficient, but so we're still asking for that just to make sure that the shoring's safe until they get permits and do a full replacement.
Okay.
So that's where we're at this time.
All right. And if you want to bring me those exhibits, ma'am, I don't know if you've had a chance to review these exhibits, but if so, do you have any objection to them entering into the record? Did you hear Mr.
I have not reviewed them, but I don't have any objections.
Okay. Have you seen the engineering report?
Yes, sir. I
You
have.
have seen the engineering report at least? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I'm going to kind of flip through these, but if you, while I'm doing that, if you want to go ahead and just tell me what's going on from your perspective and who you are exactly in relation to this property, that'd be helpful.
You want to see the PowerPoint first?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I jumped the gun a little bit. Let me take a look at some of these pictures so I understand the property a little bit better, and then I'll ask you the same thing.
Okay, and then I was also just notified that our building official would like a certified shoring plan from Atlas or another firm so that we can confirm that the temporary shoring is sufficient.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is just a loose railing where the bolts rusted out. Sorry. Come on. Exhibit G1 and G2. This is a different spot on the railing where its connections to the wall are basically gone. This has been taped since then. This was December 30th. I say taped, it's got caution tape on it. This is just a closer view of the same thing. Oh, keeps jumping around here. You can see this corner right here, there's a steel beam missing. They put a wood post there today. See right here, there would have been a steel post all the way to the ground supporting it, but at some point the history was removed. These were installed without permit and were not currently compliant. These are under part of the balcony area. This is part of the balcony area as well with the cracks in the foundation. This is kind of to show the support wall underneath part of the landing. This one's actually in the right position. The next one you'll see is leaning inward, so it's not underneath the I-beam. Whether that's part of the structural support, I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but it's definitely not where it was originally intended. You can see it leaning, and you can see the space underneath it. I assume the metal pipes there, or posts, would be the support, but that brick is not in the right place any longer. You can see underneath some of the metal's completely gone, and you've got concrete deteriorated, cracked underneath. And this is just more deterioration of the metal landing underneath. Oop. There's more cracking or spalling of the concrete. You can see the landing in this. This is all balcony to the right side. So there's definitely repairs need to be made to both the landings and the stairwells. That's the same view, or same spot from a different angle. There's more rusted deterioration. There's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 7 different stairs and landings, all inclusive here. They did put temporary shoring under all of them to some degree. Some of them have 3 or 4. Some of them just have like 1 additional shoring post. That's why we want something certified saying that it's sufficient. Again, this is another balcony next to the landing. The circle here is one of the pieces of metal that dropped off from underneath the slab up here. You can see where it's just completely rusted out and fallen. So, and that's what we have for you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for obviously some concerning pictures there. But Ms. Johnson, if you want to go ahead and kind of tell me from is it the villager? Yeah, the villager for Alton Beach Apartments, from y'all's perspective, what's going on here?
Absolutely. My name is Brittany Johnson. I am a representative for the owner. I'm assistant vice president for the management company. So while we don't own the building, we do manage it. And like Bert said, we did place temporary shoring. That was completed yesterday. I do have pictures of that if you would like me to share my screen and can show you a few photos of that. But based on the assessment, we understand that we're going to need full replacement of the entire stair casings. We have contracted 3 different vendors to provide proposals for that, and those are underway, so we will be obtaining those shortly.
Okay, and sure, if you want to go ahead and share your screen, I'm more than willing to see them. Mr. Rhodes did show me some pictures of the temporary, so I mean, if they're close to this, you don't have to, but you're certainly welcome to.
I have some here from this morning also, if you'd like them.
Okay. And Ms. Rhodes is bringing me up some pictures this morning as well. Gotcha. But you go ahead and show me what you need to show me too. And when y'all got this temporary shoring installed, was there an engineer or some professional involved that told you this is what you need to do to get the property safe on a temporary basis, or how did y'all go about that?
Yeah, so it wasn't the engineer. We just used a contractor that had knowledge in it. However, I do understand from the conversation just now that you guys will like a certified plan that it's sufficient. So we'll obtain that from Atlas.
Okay.
And we also have Kevin Mullins, a building inspector here, and he's notifying me that based on the report, what he's understanding of it, that as well as the stairs and landings, that the balconies are supposed to be replaced as well.
Okay. Maybe we could just have he's here. Maybe you could just testify real quick rather than hearing it from Bert. Let me hear it firsthand. But let me finish with Ms. Johnson's testimony first,
Okay.
just to keep the record a little cleaner here. Okay.
I believe that's all the photos that I have.
Okay, and when were those installed?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. And when did the code enforcement case become active? When did Villager become aware there was an issue that needed to be solved here? Do you remember
I
that?
don't have the exact date, but I believe it was probably early January that we had an issue. And we thought it would be more on the welding side, so we did contract a few welders to give their opinions. We thought maybe we could patch it up via welding. However, it was determined that the deterioration is just too far gone for that. So I spoke with Mr. Rhodes, and we understood that a structural engineer's assessment was needed. We did have some difficulties finding structural engineers to provide reports. That was about a 2-week process, trying to contact them and have engineers engaged. We finally did with Atlas, and they inspected the property on March the 3rd, and we received the assessment on March the 12th. And from there, we understand from the assessment replacement is needed, and Mr. Rhodes indicated on Monday of this week that we would need to install temporary shoring, which was completed the next day. Yesterday, gotcha. Tuesday.
Okay, so when you got notice of the temporary shoring was needed, you did act pretty quickly there, and you've kind of been in an assessment phase previous to that. Okay, is there anything else you think you need to? Let me ask you one more question. You've got 3 bids on your request for proposals to shore up this and make it safe. How long do you believe the contractor will need to complete the repairs?
Complete the full replacements?
Yeah, the full replacements to bring it into compliance.
Yeah, I would ask for at least 30 days if possible.
Okay. All right. And you can get, you're willing to get Atlas out there to certify that the shoring is, and I see you nodding affirmatively there, just noting that for the record verbally. And if it's not, y'all are willing to take steps to get it into compliance even on a temporary basis here?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. Anything else you think you need to tell me here?
No, sir, I believe that's all.
All right, thank you. And I believe we had one other, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, sir, but Kevin, if you want to tell me, you're the building inspector? I am. You want to tell me a few things here?
My name is Kevin Mullins. I'm the building inspector for the city of Fort Walton Beach. Based on this report here from Atlas Engineering, one of the first things that they note was the observation of substantial deterioration of many of the elements within the system presented above, and when you look up the definition of the stair system is the entire thing, including the stairs, the railings, the landings, and the balconies. And that's into the building code. And he repeats himself multiple times. He starts with stair 1. I highlighted stair 2 just to read this off. It's broken down into stringer, treads, top slab, metal support deck, topping slab, steel angle connections, and elevated balcony. The ones that I want to bring your attention to are the multiple, so topping slab, metal deck support, multiple locations of complete section loss are present due to deterioration. And then the next bullet, which is D, it talks about the topping slab, which the topping slab is going to be the slab itself, which is going to be at the landing and at the balconies, is what he's referring to as the topping slab. And the topping slab, spalling observed along deterioration of the steel intersections. And then the next one he points out is the steel angle connections at the elevated slab balcony. Steel angle displays signs of substantial deterioration and section loss at the bearing points. So the bearing points are where they actually bear on each other to produce structural support. And then he talks about landing support columns, which are the steel tubes that Mr. Rhodes pointed out there that actually hold up the landings and hold up the balcony. Steel tube columns display signs of substantial deterioration and section loss at the landing and foundation connection locations. And then every one of these, he just kind of repeats himself over and over and over for stair 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then at the end of the report, it says the recommendations due to the observations and conditions of the components presented above, we recommend full replacement of the stair system and handrails throughout the property. The amount of deterioration and section loss and or inadequate connections impacts the structural integrity and presents a life safety concern to the platform utilizing these systems.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate that. That was
Yes,
a helpful rundown there. Okay. Going back to Ms. Johnson, anything else you want to say here before I ask Mr. Rhodes a few more questions?
Yes, sir. I would just like to confirm, do we need to receive confirmation from Atlas that his definition did include the balconies, or are we determining today that the balconies are included in the recommendation?
Let me hear from the city real quick on that point.
So he outlines the balconies in regards to the steel angle connections at the elevated balcony. So when he says elevated balcony, that would be the balcony itself. So the steel connections display signs of substantial deterioration and section loss at the bearing points. So the bearing points would be where it bears in the brick wall and then it cantilevers across, spans across to the C channel where the balcony itself is actually erected. And I believe Mr. Rhodes has a couple of pictures of those. Now we can get Atlas to clarify that, but the way that I'm reading it, that's how I interpret from the building code perspective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's what's going to happen. I'm probably going to end up entering the first order here, but I want to go ahead. You can take a seat. And Mr. Rhodes, tell me exactly what the city's asking for today, so I understand. Is there 2 steps related to the temporary shoring and then the
Yes,
traditional?
just 2 steps.
Okay.
Immediate action, which they've already started with the temporary shoring. We just want to verify that what they put there is sufficient temporarily, and have Atlas certify that it is, or modify that a little bit to make sure that it's sufficient until they get full replacement done.
Okay. So are you asking for a deadline for that temporary shoring and then a deadline for full compliance?
I guess you could put a deadline on that, say 10 days for the temporary shoring, and then we were asking for 30 days, which I think she agreed to. I don't know if she's got to do the balconies and all that. That's pretty quick. I expected her to ask for a little more time, and we would not be opposed to a little more time, assuming the temporary shoring's in place. You know, if she needs more than 30 days to get everything replaced, permits in place, and the work done.
That's kind of where I was going with this, is
Yep.
It seems like there's an immediate safety concern, that if the temporary shoring can take care of that immediate safety concern, the respondent probably should have more than 30 days to complete the full repairs, which sound pretty extensive and expensive. So, Ms. Johnson, I know you're not an engineer, you're not a contractor, but hearing that, how many days do you think would be sufficient to complete the full repairs, assuming you can get the temporary shoring certified by Atlas within 10 days?
Right, I don't see an issue with complying with the deadline for 10 days for temporary shoring. However, given the more information about the balconies, that does seem more extensive than just the staircases and the railings. Would it be possible for 60 days?
I see the city seems like they're okay with that, so I'm okay with 60 days. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and enter the order 1, and there's going to be 2 deadlines here. 10 days from today's date to comply with the temporary, as certified by the engineering firm Atlas, and then 60 days for full compliance, with the understanding that as long as there's progress being made, substantial progress, can't just be, oh, I just hired a contractor on day 50, have to be some actual progress being made, that I tend to be more lenient at the second hearing where the final order is entered. So especially if the safety concern is alleviated, I would tend to be more lenient, because I feel like this could probably take longer than 60 days, but I do want to see it again just to make sure there's progress being made on what could be a significant safety risk. So that'll be my order.
You're on, Karen.
Yeah, sure.
One thing, Bert, you'd brought something up right before the hearing that I just want to break out the part on the 10 days, what they have to do in the next 10 days. Did you indicate there's a permit they need to get for the temporary shoring? Bert, I want Miss Brittany to be able to hear everything they need to do.
Temporary shoring?
I think at this point, as long as we would not require a permit per se for a temporary shoring. However, they should probably obtain one, and then once we receive the report, so that way we can kind of monitor it as well.
So is the engineering, is Atlas Engineering signing off that it's sufficient? Is that the more important thing than the permit? Okay.
Yes, that's the most important part of it right there.
Okay, so with the understanding that permitting, it can take a while.
Yes, sir.
The 10 days is just compliance to get a certification from Atlas. That's what the 10-day deadline is going to be, not a building permit from the city for that.
Correct.
But for the full repairs, you will certainly need to get a building permit. And you should engage that process as soon as you can, because there could be some back and forth with the city on exactly what that entails. So going back to the order, we'll enter the administrative fine, and I think I had forgotten to accept these exhibits into the record, but I'll go ahead and do that now. Is there anything I was missing from that case? Anyone?
No, and what was the amount of the administrative fee?
$325, right, was the request?
Correct.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Anything else from anyone? Ms. Johnson, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Burns?
No, sir.
Nope. All right,
I would like to ask, please.
sure, go ahead.
Is there a copy I could get all of the exhibits that were presented today?
Yes, and
Sure, we
if
can get you
Madam
that.
Clerk or Mr. Rhodes, if you could send that
Yeah,
to.
I can email it to her.
Yep, okay,
Thank you very much.
yep. All right, Ms. Johnson, anything else?
No, I believe I'm clear. We'll get to work on this right away.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, with that complete, we'll move to 7.2, KCE 24667 UNO. And Mr. Taylor.
Rich Taylor, City of Fort Walton Beach, Code Enforcement. This is case.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt. Pull that up. Thank you.
This is case number CE 24667-UNO. The address is 72 Lorry Drive, Northeast Fort Walton Beach. The owner of the property is Frank P. Crowder, Jr. This property was originally found in violation 204 days ago on August the 27th of 2024. The case was brought before the magistrate on October the 16th, 2024 for unlicensed, non-operative items. The magistrate issued an order giving the respondent until October 23rd of 2024 to bring the property into compliance. An inspection of the property on October 23rd, 2024 found the violations had not been corrected as ordered. March the 3rd, 2025, a statement of non-compliance was filed. On March the 10th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit E, the case report. Exhibit F, list of exhibits. Exhibit G, the October 16th, 2024 order of the magistrate. Exhibit H, statement of noncompliance. Exhibit I, notice of hearing and proof of service. And Exhibit J, photographs. Staff is requesting acceptance of findings of facts, conclusion of the law, and issuance of an order 2, including a $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends a fine amount of $100 per day starting on October 23rd, 2024, the date previously set by the magistrate. I do have a few pictures.
Sure.
These pictures were all taken after the original deadline. That one was in December. Same with that one, same picture I just zoomed in on the van. That one's February of 2025. March 4th. March 11th. And the 17th. For some reason, I'm having trouble with some of my photographs. They're coming in
A little blurry.
a little blurry. I did blow this one up a little bit because in the original picture you can see the expiration of the tag. So this is the only one. Well, this one is clear and it's not on here, but it expires 4/4/24.
Okay, but you did personally observe that they were expired?
Yes. That's just a better picture.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Crowder is here, the property owner. I met with him this morning over at the office.
Okay. Anything else before I hear from Mr. Crowder?
No.
Alrighty, well then I will go ahead, Mr. Crowder, if you want to tell me your perspective here.
Yes, sir. Your Honor. It's a rent-to-own mortgage type deal. I'm currently in litigation with a lawyer to try to get him out. I believe he's saying that there's going to be a $100 fine imposed because of the van and other derelict vehicles in the yard. And there's nothing really I can do about it until he's evicted or we come to an agreement with the other lawyers that are involved. I mean, my hands are tied. I mean, I can't just, I've told him, listen, I'm getting fined, there's another one on there
Yeah.
that I've got, 30-something thousand dollars worth of fines. And I haven't lived there.
Sure.
And there was some discrepancies about where the mail was being sent.
Do you have more information on that?
He's got it where they were sent to. I live in a condo now
Gotcha.
with the big mailboxes, and the mailman was just sticking in the, so I never got it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not my stuff. If I go over there and throw it out, he's gonna come and say, that was my mother's heirloom or whatever. So until I can get him out of the property.
So there's active litigation going on here?
Yes, sir.
And so what's the status of that?
Well, I went last Tuesday, and my lawyer has 5 days. He's got 5 days. Then I'm going to send it to the judge.
Your Honor, something I just discovered about the case that's pertinent. Mr. Shiraz Hosine is Mr. Crowder's attorney, and they just filed this lawsuit in December of 2024, so it's recent.
Okay. I think I've got a conflict on.
I would advise you to.
Yeah, Mr. Hussein is my law partner.
Okay.
So knowing that, I unfortunately, I wish I'd known this in advance. I do believe I've got a conflict on the matter, though, and I probably shouldn't hear this matter.
We'll have to refer to a conflict magistrate,
Yeah.
so that will basically, I guess I'll take over advising, Your Honor. What it means is today nothing's going to happen to you because the magistrate can't hear your case today because he has an ethical conflict. If he were to hear your case and rule on it, then he would risk conflict of interest. And so because of that, we'll have to refer this to the conflict magistrate. So this will come back probably next month, basically at next month's hearings. And so.
Right, but I'm getting charged, the property's still in my name, I'm getting a $100 fine.
And because
It's nothing right. Yeah, 30 days is
since this is I guess we'll say a city-created issue at this point, would it be possible to suspend, give them a 30-day reprieve to next month's hearings on the fine?
For this case, we can obviously continue it until next month
Yeah.
and then try and get a conflict attorney here. What he's referring to with the $100 a day, that's a separate case that's already been before the board twice.
Okay.
Or either the board or a magistrate. That one's running fine. You know, we can't affect that one.
So that one will keep running, sir, because that one's been long since decided, but for the next 30 days, but nothing will happen on the case here today till next month. And then you can plead your case to the magistrate next month, and she might give you some relief on that, on these issues. But no one can rule on your case here today because your attorney is in the same law firm as the magistrate. So.
I fully understand that, sir. But what I want to get is the $100 fine for the...
That can't happen today. I'm sorry. There's
not for the van, I'm talking about the house, with all the clutter that's in the house.
And sir, I just want to jump in here because it's probably inappropriate for me to be hearing this, but I mean, you can meet with the city separately without me involved.
Well, I've talked to him and he understands the predicament that I'm in.
And that's fine. I think that we just really can't do anything else on your case here today.
Right.
And there's nothing I'm going to be able to solve, nothing Mr. Burns sitting here can solve. Maybe
we can talk about this
exactly.
at a later point in time, but not here in this room here today. You can tell me everything you want and ask, I'll tell you the same answer over and over. We can't help you in this room here at this very moment because of the conflict. So.
Correct. Okay.
All right.
So I'm done?
Yeah, but is Rich, are you on this case?
Yes.
Can you get with Mr. Taylor and he'll get me on the phone if I need to be on the phone too to talk to you about this, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for catching that, Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I've always pulled the cases up whenever someone says a case has been filed, and it looks like it was just filed.
Yeah, I don't know how that escaped our conflict checker there, but somehow it did at our office. So anyway.
It looks like the
So this conflict check, I didn't do this time because he had already been here on the other case, and then the first hearing on this case that I brought today, so I didn't do another conflict check since October.
I think probably it was a issue on my firm's end. Probably, you know, they ran the conflict check the first time when it came from the city. And then, I don't know, somehow I guess maybe those names that get entered don't get entered like as conflicts, like since they're not clients. Anyway, I'll have to check on with my firm and make sure that we're handling this appropriately so this doesn't happen again. But I apologize.
Well, to be clear, I didn't do the conflict check for this hearing today because it had already been here a few months prior to.
Yeah.
And the conflict did not exist, just so the record's clear, on that date.
Correct.
Because Mr. Hosein only filed his appearance on December 26th.
Yeah, and maybe just to make sure we're covered in the future, maybe even for the second order, go ahead and just send it to my secretary.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure nothing slips through the cracks. But, I mean, it was a reasonable mistake on everyone's part, just one of those things. So. All right. So with that one, we're going to move on to 7.3 KCE 24696 ROF, and that's you again, Rich.
Rich Taylor, City, Fort Walton Beach, Code Enforcement. This pertains to address 47 Waynell Circle Southeast, Fort Walton Beach. According to the tax records, the owner of the property is Roderick Griffin. This property was originally found in violation 190 days ago on September 10, 2024. The case was brought before the magistrate on January the 15th, 2025. Magistrate found the property in violation of roof maintenance. The magistrate issued an order giving the respondent until February the 15th, 2025 to bring the property into compliance. An inspection of the property on February 15th, 2025 found the violations had not been corrected as ordered. On 2/25/2025, a statement of non-compliance was filed. On March the 3rd, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit E, the case report. Exhibit F, list of exhibits. Exhibit G, the January 15th, 2025 order of the magistrate. Exhibit H, statement of non-compliance. Exhibit I, notice of hearing, proof of service. And Exhibit J, photographs. Staff is requesting acceptance of findings of facts, conclusions of law, and issuance of an order 2, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends a fine amount of $100 per day starting on February 15, 2025, the date previously set by the magistrate.
All right.
I do have a couple of pictures, but they're just pictures of the posting. It's not any additional pictures of the roof.
Okay. All right.
They're also in the file.
Go ahead and let me take a look at the exhibits here. Show me the pictures while I'm doing that.
Would you like to see them?
Yeah.
That was on March the 3rd, 2025, when I posted the notice on the front door.
All right. Do you have any pictures of the roof in particular? Or?
No, I didn't take any more pictures of the violation. They were in the original order 1.
Based on your personal observation, are they the same as they are?
Yeah, nothing's been changed and there's
Okay.
no permit has been pulled.
All right. Let me just look through these real quick and make sure. All right, seems everything is in order here. So we'll go ahead, I will enter the action on statement of noncompliance and second order here, with the fine accruing at $100 per day for violations continuing beyond 2/15/2025, and impose the administrative fee of $325. And just for the record, there's no respondent here, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right. And I'll accept these exhibits into the record. Anything more on that case?
No.
All right. Moving along then. 7-4, is that going to be you too, Rich?
Is the next one 537?
Yep. This is going to be case CE 24537 LIT. So go ahead if that's you.
Rich Taylor, City of Fort Walton Beach Code Enforcement. This case pertains to subject address 123 Texas Street Northeast, Fort Walton Beach. According to the tax records, the property owners are Rosalinda and Dante Doe. The property was found in violation 239 days ago on July 23rd, 2024. The case was brought before the magistrate on January 15th, 2025. The magistrate found the property in violation of litter and unlicensed non-operative items. The magistrate issued an order giving the respondents until January the 29th, 2025 to bring the property into compliance. An inspection on the property on January the 29th, 2025 found the violation had not been corrected as ordered. On February 11th, 2025, a statement of non-compliance was filed. On March 3rd, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit E, case report. Exhibit F, list of exhibits. Exhibit G, the January 15, 2025 order of the magistrate. Exhibit H, Statement of Noncompliance. Exhibit I, Notice of Hearing and Proof of Service. And Exhibit J, Photographs. Staff is requesting acceptance of findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of an order to, including a $325 administrative fee. Staff recommends a fine amount of $100 per day starting on January 29, 2025, the date previously set by the magistrate.
Alrighty. And I'll go ahead and take a look at the exhibits.
I have a few pictures.
Pictures, yep.
No permits yet have been pulled. For the shed structure, that's the posting of the property on the 3rd. The only thing that's changed on the property, you can see the blue tarp. They have a shed that's part of this case. There's no permit for it. Recently, it has been covered with a blue tarp. Other than that, all the other litter and things are still in violation on the property.
Okay. All right. And let me just take a look at the exhibits real quick. For the record, the respondents aren't here today.
Correct.
All right. And you said you observed those conditions ongoing today?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking to make sure, because it looked like the pictures. These are recent pictures. The ones in here were from January. So, okay, we'll go ahead and enter the. This is the second order. Yeah.
Correct.
So we'll go ahead and enter that action on statement of noncompliance and second order with a $100 fine accruing every day since January 29, 2025, and impose the $325 administrative fee. And for the record, I will accept the exhibits into the record. Anything else on that case?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Moving along, we got 7.5, case CE 2586 RBC.
It's agenda item 7.5. My name's Ed Moore, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case number CE 2586 RVC. This case pertains to 177 Beale Parkway Northwest. According to the tax records, the owner of said property is David Chenault. This case is for a repeat occurrence of the following violations: commercial activity, Land Development Code Section 20300, prohibited use of a residential zone property for the storage, distributing and operation of rental watercraft / lively vessels and lively vessels rentals, Land Development Code Section 50432, prohibited operation of livery vessel rental business and commercial boat fueling and storage yard from a residential zone property, and also failure to comply with the Chapter 327 of the Florida State Statutes. Per an order of the Special Magistrate dated May 15, 2024, the aforementioned violations constitute a repeat violation. The repeat violations were observed on February 25th, 2025. On March the 3rd, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing for a repeat violation. And on February 25th, 2025, photographs of the repeat violation were taken. And as of today, March 19th, 2025, the property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing for a repeat violation and proof of service. Exhibit D is a copy of the original order that causes this violation to be deemed as a repeat violation. Exhibit E is a copy of the inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G is photographs of the repeat violations. And Exhibit H is a statement of noncompliance dated February 25th, 2025. Staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 2 for a repeat violation, including the $325 administrative fee and a fine amount of $500 per day with a starting date of February 25th, 2025, the date that the repeat violation was first observed.
All right.
And while you're going to take a look at those, Your Honor, I did speak to Ed beforehand and just was going to ask him a question or two just to add it to the record.
Go ahead.
You have been in contact with Tyler Chenault as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Tyler Chenault, from what I understand, is an operator on the property, and he informed me that he had brought the boats back, the pontoon boats back to the property. He was cleaning them up to get them ready for their new home at some undisclosed other location. And the photographs you see here, February 25th, 2025, is the same existing today. And from what I've communicated, and Mr. Tyler Chenault's been here before you at the previous hearings, he's allowed one pontoon boat for his personal use. And I believe the one he indicated last time that he was here, or when I was on the property, was that red one.
Right. How many are on the property now?
I counted 3 on the property with the trailer and the 2 at the dock, so a total of 5.
Is he actually launching from the property? Or
He said what he told me was he was cleaning them up and then he trucks them to where they're going. But I haven't seen either or, and he didn't let me know where they're supposed to be going. But they can't be there.
right. So the violation is simply that they exist on the property.
Yes, sir.
That's the city's contention. Okay. This is a repeat violation, correct?
Yes,
I do
sir.
remember this case coming to us before here.
And we're requesting the $500 per day to start on February 25th, and the final run till they bring it into compliance, which gives it a total days so far of 23 days with a total fine of $11,500.
Okay. All right. And for the record, we have no respondent here either, do we? Did he indicate why? Because I knew he showed up before, right?
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't show up. I don't know, but after today's hearing, I'll inform him of what he needs to do to get it compliant, because we want to get it compliant as quickly as possible.
Of course, yeah. It's the goal here.
Do you mind if I elucidate just a little bit on that, just because I have a feeling this might become an issue later on?
Sure, go ahead.
Ed, so Mr. Tyler Chenault was aware of today's hearing, correct, Ed?
Yes, sir. When I talked to him, he said he had received the notice we had posted on the property, as well as certified mail, as well as regular mail, and that he hoped to have all the boats gone by the 17th. So when I went out this morning, they were still in excess of the 1 that he's allowed, so he's still not compliant.
Thank you for indulging me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And I do note too that part of the exhibits are the affidavit of posting and the notice of formal hearing, and it appears that the statute was complied with. I'll accept first the exhibits into the record as presented here. Then we'll go ahead and enter the order in action on statement of repeat violation in non-compliance for this matter, with the fine accruing at a rate of, city's asking for $500 per day, $500 per day for violations continuing beyond February 25, 2025, and we'll enter the $325 administrative fee as well. Anything further on that case?
No, sir.
All righty. Here, you can take all these, I think. And this is first, if you want to give that one.
I know it looks like we only have one case left, but when we modified the agenda just prior to the hearing, we did miss one, so I want to add 7.8, which will be CE-24-575-WS.
Okay.
And then we'll go
In that
ahead.
case, it was noticed for today and everything?
Yes, it was on the agenda prior
Okay.
to this morning. We just adjusted the agenda and accidentally knocked it off.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I will amend the agenda to include 7.8 CE 24-575 WS. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Or, I think we're on 7.6 now, right?
We are.
Okay, so we've got 7.6, 7.7, now 7.8. Let's hear 7.6 CE 24-824 UNO.
Okay, I'm Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case CE-24-824-UNO. This case pertains to the subject address of 56 Laurie Drive Northeast. According to the tax records, the owner of said property is Clarence E. Glover III Trust. 125 days ago, on November 14th, 2024, the property was found in violation of litter, section 5.04.01, subsections 1 through 7, and 5.04.02, subsections 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9, for prohibited accumulation and outside storage of ladders, power equipment, buckets, tools, containers, car parts, construction materials, household items, litter, and debris. Also unlicensed non-operative items, section 5.04.01 and 5.04.02, subsections 9 and 10, for prohibited accumulation and outside storage of unlicensed non-operative vehicles. On December 2nd, 2024, service was obtained for the notice of violation. On December 10th, 2024, a reinspection of the property found the violation had not been corrected. On February 8th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. On February 3rd, February 24th, and again today, March 19th, 2025, photographs of the violations were taken. And on March 19th, 2025, property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing and proof of service. Exhibit D is a notice of violation and proof of service. Exhibit E is a copy of the inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G are the photographs of the violations. And staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 1, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends 12 days' time for compliance of the violations. This would make the compliance deadline on March 31st, 2025. And as we have no respondent here, I'll go ahead and let you enter the exhibits into the record.
Okay.
And before I show you the PowerPoint, just did hear from the property owner a week or so back, and then again Monday. He left a message late Monday. I wasn't here Tuesday to respond to him. He lives out of state, but his ex-wife lives in the property. Apparently she was not cooperative. He sounds very cooperative. He said he'd come into town, get it resolved as soon as possible. He showed up late Monday night, according to his voice message, and was going to get on cleaning it up. Some progress has been made today, not very much.
Okay.
And in his message Monday, he was hoping to get it complied and indicated he thought the hearing was Thursday. I left him a voice message this morning saying, hey, come on down, it's today. Let the magistrate know you need a little more time.
Okay.
So this is February 3rd, 2025. See the white pickup truck's non-operative vehicle there, some bricks in the middle, debris behind the truck. Oop. Closer, the bricks. Those bricks are still there this morning. Truck's still there this morning. This is still February 3rd. There's actually more debris behind the truck now this morning, buckets and stuff. Tarps, all types of stuff back there, just stored debris in the yard. This is February 24th, 2025. He's got ladders and debris in the side yard. This is February 24th also. This is February 24th. That's February 24th. And that's February 24th. I didn't add to the PowerPoint today's pictures, but back here where this is, there's more buckets and stuff stored right there for some reason. So it kind of got worse in that location, but a little better on the other side of the property, but still non-compliance as of today. That's what I have for you.
All right. So how many days are you asking for?
I was asking for 12 days, so it put it March 31st.
March 31st.
Plus the
Did he indicate how long he's going to be in town to remedy the situation?
He didn't say how long, but he seemed to think he was going to have it complied by Thursday, so I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
12 days would be sufficient.
I mean, 12 days looks like enough time to remedy this particular violation, so.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll go ahead and accept the exhibits into the record and enter the findings of fact, conclusions of law, in the order 1, as we call it. Give 12 days for compliance, which would be March 31, 2025. And you're asking for the $325 administrative fee as well, which I'll go ahead and enter as well. Anything further on that matter?
No, sir, that'll do it. Thank you.
All right. And then next we've got case 7.7 CE 24-537 LIT.
No, that should have been, that was a duplicate.
Oh,
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was also
no.
7.4.
That was one we tried to remove, but we removed the wrong one. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we are down to the last case, which is the one that probably should have been in 7.7 slot,
Correct.
which is CE 24-575 WS.
Yes, sir. Again, I'm Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case CE-24-575-WS. This case pertains to the subject address of 207 Combs Manor Court, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. According to the tax record, the owners of said property are Deborah A. Riley Broadnax et al. This property was originally found in violation 230 days ago on August 1st, 2024. This case was brought before the magistrate on October 16th, 2024. The magistrate found the property in violation of water service required, section 10.51.04, for prohibited occupancy without legal connection to city water service. The magistrate issued an order giving the respondent until November 30th, 2024 to bring the property into compliance. An inspection of the property on November 30th, 2024 found the violations had not been corrected as ordered. Therefore, on November 30th, 2024, a statement of non-compliance was filed. This case was brought back before the magistrate on January 15th, 2025. On January 15th, 2025, the magistrate continued the case for an additional 60 days. On February 20th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing for the March 19th, 2025 hearing. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record, which is the Exhibit K, notice of hearing for proof of service for the March 19th, 2025 hearing. Staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 2, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff recommends a fine amount of $100 per day starting on November 30th, 2024, the date previously set by the magistrate.
Okay. And I remember she showed up a couple of the other
She
hearings.
showed up the first 2 times, and
Yeah.
I did not hear from her this time.
All right.
I took another picture this morning. Her car's in the driveway, the porch light is on, which is not typically on during the afternoon, but early this morning it was on, so I assume she's definitely still there.
Okay. You haven't had any communication with her since?
Not since the last hearing. I haven't heard a thing from her.
And by her, which
Frankie.
individual? what's her name again?
Frankie Broadnax.
That's Frankie.
Frankie
Broadnax.
Broadnax, okay.
There's other family members listed on the tax record
Yeah.
that's listed there. And the tax record looks like it changed, but it's just the format has changed. I was afraid it had changed completely, but it didn't. So in the exhibits, the original tax roll's in there, and then
Okay.
the one that's loose in there is the way it's formatted now, but it's the same people.
All right. Yeah, and remind me, I thought she had said at the last hearing that they were working towards compliance, but I can't remember exactly.
She had somebody try and fix a leak, and then apparently it wasn't fixed, it was leaking under the slab.
Yeah.
They turned the water on and off several times, trying to get her, solved, but she's never solved the leak problem. And I spoke to the water department this morning, they haven't heard from her since the last hearing, pretty much.
Gotcha. Yeah. Looks like there's a violation here then. We've given quite a bit of time to come into compliance. There's no one here, no respondent here today. So we're going to go ahead and enter the action on statement of noncompliance and second order. And what's the fine amount you're requesting?
We asked for $100 a day, starting to November 30th, 2024. You can adjust that if you'd like.
Yep, well, we'll do the $100 a day from November 30th, 2024. And there's no one here to tell me their side of the story, so
Okay.
we'll do that, and we'll enter the $325 administrative fee. Anything else on that case?
No, sir, that's all we have for you.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, right?
Yes, sir, we have no additional business or unfinished business.
All right, then I'll bang the gavel and we'll be done.
Thank you, thank you.